Hi, my name is Emily Barton. I'm the 4-H Extension Agent in Hawkins County, and today I'll be walking you through the steps to prepare for the On My Own simulation at your school. A little background on the On My Own simulation. When this particular event happens at your school, you will go through a scenario where you are the head of household in your upper 20s with a family to take care of. You will have a monthly salary that you will spend on the needs, wants, and curveballs of life. So let's take a look at your handout. I'm going to walk you through some steps to prepare for the simulation. At any time, you can pause the video to take care of one of those steps or to ask some clarification questions, and then you will be ready for the simulation. So you're going to have a handout that has two sides. Looking to the future side is the side we're going to start on. You'll know you're in the right place when you see gross monthly salary. So as you look around the room, each one of these cards is a little bit different. Each is going to have an occupation and an education level, as well as a family scenario. Some of these will have some similarities. You may have a similar family scenario, you may have similar education levels, or a similar career. You may have different things here, but a similar net monthly income. It all kind of depends on the gross monthly salary as to how much money you guys are going to have for the simulation. And that's life. Not every registered nurse with an associate's degree makes the same thing. That's part of the actual career market. Just as a registered nurse with a bachelor's degree would potentially and should make more money. Every one of these scenarios is going to be based on the occupation, the degree, the family scenario, and then how that works with your gross monthly salary. So let's get into the steps that you need to complete to be ready for simulation day. First, we're going to start out describing this box a little bit. So the gross monthly salary is the salary that you have before taxes come out. So for your card, everyone should have the gross monthly salary listed. They will be different based on occupation and education. Taxes will come out at 18% of the gross monthly salary, which will then, after subtracting, get you to your net monthly income. That's the income that is going into your bank account. That is the income that you will be using in the simulation. Next, we need to take a look at the family scenario. This is going to potentially give you extra income to add or subtract to get your total income down here at the bottom. So, a couple things with the family scenario. During the simulation, you're going to be asked quite frequently, how many people are in your house? How many children do you have? Are you the custodial parent or the non-custodial parent? So we're going to read through, count up the number of people in our family, mark a few things so that you have those answers quick and ready during the simulation. So first, you need to take a look at, are you married, single, or remarried? That's going to make some differences depending on certain choices you make at housing, car, most of the groceries, most of the simulation boards. So, for mine, it is remarried and my spouse homeschools. So at that point, I have myself and my spouse in my family. That's two. I am the custodial parent. Some of you will have a sticker that says married, spouse does not work, married, spouse works, and several children listed. If you have custodial parent, you need to go ahead and count those children as well, because that means you have them 5 days a week during the work week, during the school week, or some fraction of 5 days a week. So, custodial parent of 3 children, so I have 5 total people in my family. If you are non-custodial parent, you would write down you and your spouse and then your children separately. So 2 to 3 days a week, you're going to have that many. 2 to 3 days the rest of the week, you're going to have just you and your spouse. That's going to make a difference in decisions that you make at each station board. So I need to make a note, and you do as well. How many people are in your household? Go ahead and take a moment and write yourself a note of that. Okay, now we're going to take a look at some of the other things on this family sticker. Some of you are going to have a spouse income listed. That is going to be an added amount of money into your bank account. So you're going to come to spouse income, write plus, and however much that is. If you're like me and you do not have that, you're going to put plus 0. Take a minute and do that step. Next, we're going to do the same thing with child support. If you are a custodial parent, your sticker will say add so much in child support. If you are a non-custodial parent, you are going to have subtract so much in child support. So for mine, I'm going to do add 350. You may be doing subtract up to 550, or you may have nothing to do with that, and so you would put plus 0. Now that we have completed that step, you are going to find your grand total by taking your net monthly income, adding any spouse income, and adding or subtracting your child support, and put your grand total in the oval. Okay, now that we've gotten to our grand total, let's talk about this larger square. You are going to use the reverse side of this card to go through your simulation in a specific order based on different things that happen to you. So once you visited a station, you are going to make a purchase. You will write the amount of your purchase on the line. So we're going to do one together. Instead of going to visit this board individually, we're going to do this one all together. So we are going to get our medical insurance together. There are 4 choices that you can pick from. When you have chosen your specific medical insurance, you're going to put your plan letter, so A, B, C, or D, and how much it costs. So I'm going to describe all 4 plans. You can then pause the video, make your selection, and write it on the line. So Plan A pays for all medical visits and expenses. For example, if your child broke their leg and you get a curveball card that says that and has to go to the ER and then go through the process of casts and things like that, you would not have to pay anything out of pocket for those visits. But you do have to pay a monthly premium of $500. If you would like to do Plan A for $500 a month for all your family members, so if you're a family of 5, if you are a family of 3, still $500 covers everybody. You would put Plan A and 500 on the line. Plan B is a plan that has co-pays with each medical visit. That means you pay a monthly premium and then you pay a co-pay for going to the actual doctor. So the monthly premium, which you would put on this line, would be Plan B, and it is $250 per month. If you have to go to a regular doctor's visit or an urgent care, you would pay $25 for the visit. If you have to go to the emergency room for something more immediate, a broken leg, a car wreck, something like that, it's $100 per visit. So depending on the curveball you get, you may be paying some additional money or you may not, depending on the month. So if you like Plan B, you do Plan B, $250. Plan C is you go without insurance completely, but you risk paying the entire fee if you have a medical expense. For example, you would put Plan C 0, but if you draw a curveball card with a broken leg and an emergency room visit, you may pay $850 for the entire event. So if you choose this plan, you would put Plan C, $800, but know that you may have a curveball with a large medical expense or multiples, because sometimes you may draw a curveball card for yourself and then a curveball that one of your kids got hurt. So these could add up. It just depends. You do not know for sure. The final plan is an insurance plan for single parents. So if you are married or remarried, you cannot choose Plan D. This particular plan has no cost for single parents who make under $3,000 net monthly income. This does not include spouse or child support added to. So if your net monthly income is less than $3,000, you may choose this plan. Otherwise, you do not have Plan D as an option. This particular plan costs no dollars, so you would put Plan D 0, but then you only pay $5 for any type of medical visit. So you have a copay to pay, but no actual large expense. Okay. Now that you have made your selections, you've written plan, the letter, and the amount. We're going to do one additional curveball for practice. Curveballs in the simulation can be stacked. So I am giving you a curveball right now. When you get into the simulation, you may get a curveball at the car dealership. You might get a curveball when you buy your house. Someone in the simulation will be walking around giving out curveball cards. You may get picked for 3 or 4 of them. As you get curveballs, you just keep adding them to the curveball line, getting a grand total. So your first curveball is student loans. Most folks with a degree have to take out some type of loan in order to pay for their college education. So if you have a bachelor's degree under the education, you have a $250 student loan. You're going to write 250 in the line. If you have a master's degree, you have a $500 student loan. You are going to write 500 in the line. If you have a PhD, an MD, or a doctorate degree, you are going to have a $1,000 student loan. You're going to put 1,000 in that line. Now, associate's degrees, technical degrees, and any others, those are usually covered in Tennessee through some of the scholarship opportunities. So those will not have the student loan curveball today. You may and probably will get several other curveball cards as you go through the simulation. Several of the leaders will just be walking around handing them out because that's how life is. Things happen. So let's talk a little bit about using this card on simulation day. If you go to the second page, you're going to read your scenario to follow your path and make sure to visit each station listed in your sheet in the order they belong. Of course, your education and job outcome is on the back. We figured out our salary that we have and our budget. So we're going to get started with scenario 5. Everybody will have a different number here. Some of you may repeat, but most of you will be different. So as a registered nurse with an associate's in nursing at Mallet Health Medical Offices, I'm going to start at number 1 and go to Major Moolah Mall. It says your family is going on vacation and you all need new summer clothes. So as I go to mall, I am going to be buying new clothes for my family. You will have the station leader initial that you have been there. And once you decide what you are spending on your purchase, you are going to list it in the blank for that station. Then you'll move on to do the step for number 2. then number 3, then number 4, 5, 6, and 7. At some point during the simulation, we may give you an option for utilizing your asset. This is something that you own in the simulation that you might be able to sell or to pawn for a little extra spending money. We will let you know if that happens during our simulation. Some tips and tricks for going through the simulation. 1, you must stay in order. If you are getting stuck, visit one of the floating leaders who can help give you some assistance, as well as make sure you note your amounts as you go. There's going to be some specific things in housing and car that you may need to note as well, such as the type of house you bought, so that you can make purchases somewhere else. Some strategies that you might choose is keeping up with your budget as you go to know how much money you have left, or you can simply write down your purchases and do the math at the end. The choice is yours. In the meantime, it's going to be a few days until your simulation. If you have encountered any questions, any problems, any comments that you need the UT Extension office to handle before simulation day, please feel free to reach out to us. Our number is with Ms. Hennard there in the office, as well as our email, and we are welcome to answer any questions or solve any problems to clarify anything. When we come to simulation day, we will talk to your group before you start the simulation to clarify any rules. If you have had an absent student for the day, you are welcome to get them a paper started. But make sure we'll help explain it to them, but try to touch base with them before as well. But if something happens and we need to start a card on simulation day, that is perfectly fine. And last but not least, you are going to take and put your first and last name and your homeroom teacher up here in the corner, because they are going to hang on to these for you and give them back to you on simulation day. Again, if you have any questions at all, please reach out to Ms. Hennard, who can help you get in touch with us at the Extension office and clarify anything before the day. We look forward to seeing you for On My Own at your school very soon. Thank you.